Good morning.
Good morning.
Whether this microphone is on or not, and it sounds like it is, I'm going to, you mind if I record myself? I always want to get better. So we're going to see how we do this here. There we go. Record. Okay, we're recording now. May the words of my mouth and the meditations of my heart be acceptable in thy heart, my strength and my Redeemer. Whenever we have the opportunity to speak at Unity, it's always a pleasure. I am Unity. The title of this talk is The United States of Consciousness. This will be one of 4. I've been asked to come and have you tolerate me 3 additional times. And so, thank you. And I want to thank Reverend Shirley. She's my mentor, my everything, spiritual guider. And the conversation that she mentioned that began 25 years ago, this talk today is still a part of that ongoing conversation. A couple of things that I want to help set the stage. Emmett Fox says of unity, and we are unity, you have the truth. Of all the truth movements, you have the truth. And the final truth is life is a state of consciousness. That's according to Emmett Fox. So I'm going to repeat that slow. Those of you in this room, you have the final truth. And the final truth is life is a state of consciousness. When I look over my notes, there's about 3 things that are going to happen. There are going to be some vocabulary words, not really a big deal. We're going to talk about some law. And ultimately, it's about application. And don't worry about the law. It's some things that our dear brothers have said and dear sisters have said. Ultimately, it's about application, right? Because somewhere in sacred scriptures it says, be ye doers. Not only hearers, but be ye doers. Make sense? So a couple of vocabulary words. One is exoteric. That means outer. What we see on the outside. Then there's this term esoteric. That's the inner or real meaning. So here's something that one of our dear brothers said. He said, all power in heaven and in earth is given unto you. So esoterically, all power in consciousness and expression is given unto you. So basically what he was saying is, what you say is what you get. What you see is what you get. Some of us remember Flip Wilson. He used to always say, what you see is what you get. That was so prophetic. What you see with your inner vision, you're always going to get that and nothing else. Now here's the challenging part of this conversation ongoing that Reverend Shirley Hart and I always have. We're going to have to improve our capacity. Let's imagine the physical Jesus was sitting right there and he said, okay, let me see how well you all are doing with what I taught you. Now, he is sitting there. He came back a long time ago. Some faith-based communities that are waiting for him to come back, they missed it again. And I'm not picking on anyone. I'm talking to us as unity. He's sitting right there. But he would evaluate us. And he'd say, okay, remember I told you the things that I do, you will even do greater works than these because I go to the Father, because I go to consciousness. And what if he was going to assess us and evaluate us? What would be our grade? Don't answer that. Answer it for yourself. The things I do, you will also do even greater works than these, because I go to my Father. And my Father and I are one. And my Father is my consciousness. Now here's the capacity. From August around the 4th to the 21st, we had the 2016 Olympics. Remember? Listen to this. We won 121 medals, 46 golds. In 2012, we'll back up, we earned 103 medals, 46 golds. So the goal was always to increase the number of medals we won, right? Now we're unity. We are a spiritual-based demonstration, manifestation, expression community. Now, who was the swimmer that now has won more medals than anybody else? Michael Phelps. Guess what? He trained and practiced every day. Now, from some of the interviews, Michael would tell you there were better swimmers than me, but they couldn't give up the distractions. They weren't willing to practice day in, day out, 7 days a week. So, hypothetically, Jesus is sitting, he said, okay, have you guys been practicing every day? I know you're practitioners, and it has nothing to do with if you went to school and learned the formal 5 ways of treatment. What have you been practicing day in, day out in your spiritual life? He might say, you have not because you practice not. Gregory? I think when you all invite me to unity, it's not supposed to always be warm and fuzzy. It's not supposed to prick a little bit, right? So he says, you have not because you practice not. Sometimes in our community, it's just nice to be around each other and do the same things and say the same things and get the same results. And the brother said, the works I do, you will do also. Even greater. Not the same. Greater. Did miracles happen back then? Yes. For us in unity, those are just common occurrences. Think about your life right now. So, some more definitions. United states of consciousness. United, to be bound together, to be tied together, to be held together. That's what we are. We're united, aren't we? That's the name of this community, unity, isn't it? And he would say, wait a minute. Whatever you bind on earth, you will bind in heaven. Whatever you let loose in heaven, you will let loose on earth. Whatever you bind in consciousness, you're going to express. Whatever you loose in consciousness, you're going to express. This is pretty simple, isn't it? States of. United. States of. Levels. Places. Consciousness. Are you with me? So I'm going to get to the definition of consciousness, but states of, where are you? Where are you going? Where do you want to be? Each of those are your states of. So imagine right here, thank you for this, Reverend Shirley. We need to talk to her more. You really do. So imagine right now, and for this example, we're going to focus on health. Remember, I crossed the border. For the rest of this conversation, we're going to apply it to health. Okay? So I'm going to put some things on this chair. Okay? So I'm going to put some shoes. Oh my. I'm going to put some weights. I'm going to put a jump rope. This is a speed rope with weighted handles. Well, I'm even going to put a magazine, but I won't let you see that yet. So, the focus is health. Now, consciousness, different levels. So imagine on this level, there's poor health. On this level, there's average health. On this level, there's good to great health. Are you with me? So, you get to decide which level you want to be on. If you're on the poor health level and you remain on that level in consciousness, guess what you're going to attract? Others that have the same consciousness. Don't talk about your arthritis and your bursitis and your whatever. It doesn't belong to you unless you claim it. That's my arthritis. Cancel, delete. No, that's someone else's. That's my bursitis. No, it's not unless you claim it. If you get it, it will get you. Let's step it up a vibration. Let's say you are conscious of average health. I'm okay. I looked at my neighbor and I look better than them. What is that? That's kindergarten. We're not comparing this to our neighbors if our neighbors are average. Right? Do we do that sometime? Don't answer. Answer for yourself. Great health. You may not think you're there now. It's about all power in consciousness and expression is given to you. So see it. Go to the Tulare Nike outlet. Buy you a pair of tennis shoes. And just put them on. Even if you don't feel like running a marathon, just get the shoes and look at them at first. And put them on. Get you the Nike socks where they have the swoosh, it looks really cool, right above the tennis shoes. You know what I'm talking about? The short socks, the ankle socks. Get you a pair of Nike shorts. Get you a top. Don't put them on yet. You're going to live in pictures and allow that to give you this consciousness. Then put them on. Say, I have to do something now that they're on. I'm going to either do jumping jacks, I'm going to do 2 leg lifts, and that's it. If you haven't done any, 2 leg lifts is outstanding. Get you a jumping jack or a jump rope and do your jumping jacks. Let me share this with you. At Marshall's, on Shaw and Clovis, in the back against the wall, they always have discounted workout equipment. Don't go to Best Buy and spend a lot of your finances. Go to Marshall's in the back against the wall. Get you some weights. I mean, these are kind of light. These are my grandson's. He likes to lift these. We're talking about developing our consciousness. Get you a magazine. Get you a magazine of the most fit person in here. And start looking at them. Cut out the pictures. Put them around your house. Put them in all of your rooms. Right? I mean, even if you don't look like that yet, it doesn't matter. This is about consciousness. Ladies, you can get the lady magazines. They have fitness for women. Get those magazines. Use the equipment, use the visuals to help develop your consciousness. And then, with your inner vision, see yourself as you want to be. Here's the definition of consciousness. We went to united, to states of consciousness. Here's a definition of consciousness. And I think all of us are familiar with Mr. Fillmore? Yes. Okay. How many of you have not heard of Mr. Fillmore? Everyone has. Okay. He is the founder of unity. Okay? He is the founder. And we stand on his and his wife's, Myrtle's, shoulders. Okay? This is what he said. Consciousness is everything that we believe, say, do, and give consent to. Everything that we do, say, believe, and give consent to is what we have in consciousness. Think about right now what you say, believe, and give consent to. That's part of your consciousness. He also suggests that consciousness is what you desire and your self-concept. Because as I think, so am I. Now, I know for some of you, you've been studying for a long time, and all of this is not new. What I'm asking us to do, let's step it up. Let's build more capacity. You are the answer. And I was asked to share a few things a couple of weeks ago during the prayer celebration, and I always say this about unity. Copying Emmett Fox, you have the key. You don't make people feel bad. You know, oh, you've been sinning, so you should not come to church. And if you come to church, you've been a sinner, so you need to sit up right up front. We're going to have an altar call, and I want you right here. We don't do that. We say, look, just God is the answer. Whatever you've done in the past, just relax. Just like Jesus said. Right? Go and sin no more. We even talked about the word sin. Again, we're establishing a foundation for the next three. Do you see how valuable this is here? Some of you already have nice equipment. Just pull it out. Take it out of the box. Take it from the back of the closet and put it on. And you know what? You don't have to work. Just walk around the house with it on. Boy, I look good. Stand in the mirror. It's nice to have fun, but I'm so serious. I'm so serious. So, the new normal. We want to continue to build capacity. Again, if our brother was sitting right there, standing now because I moved the chair, what do you think he would ask us about our demonstrations? They're probably, I'm going to say it anyway, because my mentor is here and she'll defend me. He would probably say, if you have any requirements and any needs when it comes to faith, family, and finances, use what I've told you. He might say, your banks should be running over. Right? David had a cup. Whenever you have your meeting and you look at the bank statement, manifestors, you should say, our banks runneth over. That's just one test. Might there be a need for increased finances? You answer that for yourself. My banks runneth over. It doesn't matter what you see right now. He said, I calleth things that are not seen as though they were seen, and the unseen becomes the seen. More law. Are you with me? Yes. Really? We have to build capacity. Couple more. Listen to this, vocabulary words. Neville Goddard is an outstanding spirit. He has a book titled The Power of Awareness. And in this book, he suggests that thought, awareness, faith, these are synonyms. So in your inner vision, when it comes to health, what are you aware of? Oh! Are you aware of that? What are you aware of? And right now we're talking about health. That's one significant part of our being. He's suggesting whatever you can become aware of, whatever you can become conscious of, you will express that. Whatever you have become aware of, you're expressing it now. A young man came up to me. This is the second time he's done that. He says, "How are you doing?" I said, "I'm doing great, young man." And he said, "I'm older than you." I said, "What does that have to do with your youth?" It's a comparison, and I'm not picking on him. I asked him if I could share that. There's a tendency to compare our expressions with someone else. And if someone is here and I'm doing a little bit better than them, what is that? Nothing. You know, we're doing a little bit better than the church around the corner. What is that? So what? We have a little bit more membership than those around the corner. What is that? Nothing. Right? He says, if I be lifted up, all men, all manifestations will be drawn. Whatever you lift up in consciousness regarding health will be drawn unto you. Whatever you lift up and sustain in consciousness will be drawn unto you. So let's say great health. Then you won't go get a Snickers bar. You might go get one of these. You might go get one of these. And here is sometimes the sticking point. I don't know what I should do. You don't have to know. God in you knows. Just get the consciousness. Don't worry about how. Sometimes we won't decide on a higher level expression because we haven't figured out, well, how am I going to get there? I don't know how that's going to happen. Listen to this. My goodness. This is from the Honorable Charles Fillmore. Prosperity, the book. It is quite possible to possess a reality that cannot be seen, touched, or comprehended by any of the outer senses. It is faith when we are fully conscious of things not seen and have the assurance of things not yet manifest. What do you want? Claim it. It doesn't matter what you see with your physical eyes. With your inner vision, claim great health. Claim a 12-pack. I've lost weight. I'm at 11 or 10. You can claim what you want. And do not judge by immediate physical appearances. Hold on to your inner vision. They have not because they what? Practice not. Each of you are practitioners. I know Reverend Shirley mentioned that. Along the way, I became a practitioner. Well, we're all practitioners. Each of you is a practitioner. She mentioned about doctorates and all of that. That really, I guess it has some value, but not a whole lot when it comes to practice. Think about it. Our dear brother Jesus didn't go to medical school. There's a story, and we're going to begin wrapping up. But listen to this story. Evidently, in history, there were a group of people called the lepers. And in sacred scripture, in Leviticus, I think it's Leviticus 4:6 is when it starts, it teaches us how to heal the lepers and any other disease. It says, take 2 birds, kill one of the 2 birds, take the live bird and dip it in the blood of the dead bird. Then sprinkle the person with the lepers 7 times, 5, 6, 7, and they will be healed. Now, I don't know about you, but I'm not going to be killing any birds. The esoteric meaning. Blood means consciousness. The blood of Christ means the consciousness of Christ. I'm going to back up a little bit. Remember in the 10 Commandments, the plague was going to come and they said, kill the lambs and put the blood on the door. They were saying, symbolically, because we know if we move forward in history, Jesus was called the Lamb. They were saying, take the Spirit, put that consciousness over your dwelling place, and nothing bad can come nigh thee. Take the consciousness, put it over your dwelling, and nothing bad, plagues, locusts, frogs, there are a lot of horrible things in that movie, can come near your home. Okay? Now, the dead bird is symbolic of the current expression that you want to leave behind. The blood is the consciousness. Remove your consciousness from what you no longer want to express. Take your attention away from it. Put that blood on what you want to express. Are you with me? Yeah. Remove your consciousness from this expression you no longer want. Dip the new expression in that consciousness 7 times. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Then you get to Sabbath and you rest. I've been thinking about this. I've been meditating on this all week. It's time to rest now. If you don't rest, you're suggesting to yourself it hasn't happened. Rest. Now, it doesn't have to take 7 days to Sabbath. It can happen just like that. It's symbolic. We want to visualize it, then live, move, and have our being in the wish already fulfilled. Another synonym for consciousness is assumption. Assume it's already done and live in that. And that will express. Are you with me? Whatever you desire when it comes to health today, live, move, have your being in that already has happened. And you will get that. If we're living and moving and having our being in what we don't want, what are we going to continue to get? How much more time do we have, young lady? Because I'm going to come back. 1 minute? Am I over?
No.
How much more time? 3 minutes?
We got Sunday.
30 seconds? 30 seconds? Okay. Application. Thank you, Reverend Shirley. I love you so much. You have no idea. right now in your mind, when it comes to health, visualize where you want to be. What you see is what you get. But you have to persist. Oh, I did that for a week and I don't see any changes. Well, persist. Not up and down. I'm going to heresy. Here's some heresy. And please, I want you to accept my apology in advance. Do you accept? Wow. We can be in and around this teaching for 75 years. No change. Goodness gracious. No change. Not applying it. I'm listening. I'm hearing. I feel good when I'm around my friends. But when it comes to the real work, Michael Phelps, day in, day out. Day in, day out. And think about it. That lasted for 3 weeks. We're talking about principles that last eternity. The Olympics is over, right? Guess what Michael Phelps is doing already? Day in, day out. We have 2020 coming. Day in, day out. What about us? Is it possible that each of us can have at least the same impact on our groups of people than an Olympian? I'm not against sports, but I'm for us. It's time to be Olympians, isn't it? And you don't have to stress yourself out. This may not be for everybody. Being an Olympian is not for everybody. But being an Olympian practitioner, it's for everybody in this room. Because guess what? It's not just for you. It's for everyone you come into contact with. Closing. He's walking through crowds. Things are happening. And this lady is trying to get through the Romans. And they keep pushing her back. And she was able to touch the hem of his consciousness. And she was healed just by touching the hem of his consciousness. And he turns around. Who touched me? I sense that virtue has come out of me. You do the same thing. Up here, wherever you go, people are going to be attracted to you. They won't know why, but you do know why. United States of Consciousness. All power in heaven and in earth, in consciousness and in expression, is given unto you. Thank you.